I spent some time with the homework in the last week. Looking back to see the observer, not finding anything. And been reading a lot too, other Hindu texts where they talk about the same kind of thing.
You just read my mind.
You were going to ask about the homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice exercise.
Yeah, it's there's already nobody there. But some it may seem to be coming up that to look, it may be suggested that just look elsewhere to see. Is a real somebody who's seeking. Because sometimes it's there's that tendency to assume that there's a real somebody there who's who's doing anything, who's doing things, going to the left, going to the right, and that is seems to be believed in. So somehow the dream seems to go on. Yeah. But that's as it is. It's just what is. That which can never be known. That which is always is can never be understood. As pressing as that. So there is already nothing separate from this. Even looking is this. Not looking is this. Thinking that there's somebody who's looking is already just what it is. Thinking that there's nobody who's looking. So yeah.
It's a weird
Can
thing.
go ahead.
You when you're looking, you immediately get directed back to where you're looking from, and then you see that, but then it feels like you're looking at that from another vantage point. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's still, they seem to often come from the heart or the head. It seems to, you know what I mean? It's like this continually iterative backward thing where it always feels like you're looking from somewhere. But when you look at back where you're looking from, it seems like you're looking from somewhere else. And then logically, it feels like, okay, well, I'm not really looking from anywhere. And you feel a little bit of dissipation of the vantage point. But it feels like a dog chasing its tail, I mean, it's this tricky thing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's
Yeah.
like for you, or do you live in a place of no vantage point?
Well, I don't live in any place. There's no one here who's even living. So I would say there's just looking from nowhere. But in the dream, it may seem as if there are levels. There is looking from here, from behind the eyes, and that as well may seem to expand. There may seem to be an expansion, looking from being detached, looking from here as nothing, and then as well that will be exhausted, will dissipate, and then it is seen clearly that there is just looking from nowhere. Nobody's looking. Even the one who seems to be looking will just vanish and recognize that it will be recognized that there wasn't anyone who was even looking. So there was just what is just looking from nowhere. Vastness. It is already this vastness. What is spaciousness, focusing its attention to the specific, I don't know how to put it. Or it is this already vastness, what is, which is already whole and complete, focusing itself into a specific direction, appearing to look from somewhere from that point. But it's still just this vastness. There's no separation. There's no one looking from a certain level, another one looking from the expanded level. So looking from somewhere is just a dream appearing in this. Being somebody who's looking, that's a dream, that's illusory. And it's not wrong or right, because it's just an expression of this. This as it is already neutral. It's neutral. It's able to express as the opposites, as good and bad, up and down, left or right, black or white. But itself as it is already neutral. It's already not a thing. It's already not doing anything, appearing to do something, already not thinking, appearing to think, already not walking, appearing to walk. So that's how it is seen here.
Always.
Sorry?
Always. That's how it's always seen there.
Yeah, it is seen. It is seen. There is an apparent character, which means there can be a reaction, a response. If the question is asked, then there can be an answer being given. And if somebody calls this Ngosi, it doesn't say, oh no, I'm not Ngosi. I don't exist. I'm not here. No, there's nobody here. It's just a response as if, there's a real somebody. It doesn't mind the story. It doesn't try to get rid of the story. Because the story as it is already this, is already itself. It doesn't mind uh, its own expressions. It doesn't really mind. Yet it's not an object. It's not a thing that can be pointed to. It's already not a thing. There's already no somebody there who's even listening. It's just already this listening, talking, sitting on a chair, looking, thinking. And an individual has never done anything because there is no individual already to do anything. The thinking that there is an individual, there is somebody there, is also this, which is not somebody, which is not a thing, as pressing as that. So there is already nothing separate from this. There's just this. This is everything already. Yet this isn't a thing already. It's beyond words. It can never really be spoken. It can never really be said. You can't say what this is. This is it's just is. It's just this. It's not trying to do anything. It's not waiting. It's not doing anything. It's neutral. It's just is. It's already there in the midst of tornado happening. It's already there in the midst of thunderstorm, quarrels, misunderstanding, camping. It's already there. It's everywhere and nowhere. It's simply this. It's so simple, even beyond the word simple. It's just is. It's right here. It can never be found because it's never lost. It can never be found because even the finder is already it. So there's nobody to find it because there's just it. It's just this. It's already the case. There's nowhere to get to. The thought that seems to say maybe there's something to be done for this to be seen. That thought is this too, saying that. So it hides as everything, yet it's not really hiding. It's just this. There are no words, nothing to be done, no efforts. It's already effortless and obvious to itself. It can never be obvious. It can never be effortless and obvious to somebody because there's no somebody. What seems to be the somebody is already just this. So there's no separation. Yet the thought of separation is already that which is not separate from anything. It's already not a thing. It's not a man or a woman. It doesn't have any culture, doesn't have any agenda. It simply is. It's just this. It's not even space.
It's not even space.
Yet,
I thought for sure it was space.
yet space is appearing in it. It appears as space, but it's not uh, really space. It's it's subtler than space.
It's what?
It's subtler. I don't know.
Subtle.
Subtle, yeah.
I guess in my mind, I think of it as manifesting from space. But the way that I experience moments where things are more obvious, there's a lucidity that seems to collapse space. I don't know what that means, but that's kind of how I experience it. But when I think about it, I harness all my scientific knowledge, of, electrical matter, electrical fields, inert space beyond the space that we can see, dark matter, that there's something solid underneath it. I think of it as space. The matter is a small portion of what appears in space. But thinking of it as not being space, I guess. I mean, you challenged me once saying, you never moved from California because there's no movement. You know, sometimes, when you're driving, you can feel that from your perspective. Everything is flat. Things are just moving in and out of that flatness, and that awareness is what's constant. There's something beyond that that's more constant than what appears. But I
Exactly.
always think of it as space. But there's not really any use thinking of it as anything because you can never capture it with the mind anyway, right?
Yeah. There's nothing to hold on to. Nobody to hold on to anything. when you say it's space, the apparent separate self may seem to try to imagine that space, all this space, but it's not. It's you know it's not exactly space. It's beyond that, yet appearing as space.
You know, there was an Indian sage named J. Krishnamurti who lived in the 19th century. Sorry, 20th century. Born in the 19th century, lived throughout. He got to be very old, and he was British Indian, you know, kind of educated in England. He's very eloquent. He just went on and published many books, wrote many books, and and there was a physicist that he became friends with, and the physicist discovered that there's these, you know, um, equations, mathematical equations, and if you took the dimensions of time and space out of these mathematical equations that had been a big mystery to people, then all of a sudden everything things seemed to work out. So he said there's no space and time, that the, you know, because we can solve all the math to him was more real than this. So he came out with that, and J. Krishnamurti saw that and was extremely excited about it. And at this point, you know, J. Krishnamurti, it was influential enough that they had a series of talks on, like, you know, like we're having right now, questioning the nature of reality and matter, and J. Krishnamurti just really pushing these ideas of, you know, 100% not dissimilar to what you're talking about with this physicist who could barely understand him. Obviously brilliant man, you could barely understanding him, trying to convert that into the mathematical language that made sense to him, and then immediately getting confused. And you know, you can see, or I could see, you know, someone who understands about both worlds that they come from can understand where they get confused. It's a really amazing series of lectures.
Beautiful.
It
Wow.
really is nice. I'll see if I can find them and send them to you.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see. Love to watch that. Yeah. Yeah, in the story, it may seem as if trying to find it uh, somehow is being missed, is missing it. But when you're not just it is seen as well. There can be that wow, uh, if I could call it wow moment happening. Oh, it's so simple, simple. It just is. There's no efforts to find this, to see. the recognition, as I always say, the recognition as well. In the story, it may seem as if it belongs to someone. It's going to belong to someone when it is seen. But really, when it is recognized, when there's that recognition, it doesn't really belong to anyone. It's just a recognition that this just is.
Yeah,
It's just
there's nothing to get. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no one to hold on to it.
yeah. It's more like waking up in a dream. When there's so much going on in the dream, then trying to figure out the way to sort different problems in the dream when you're sleeping. And then when you suddenly wake up, you recognize, oh, it was just a dream. What a relief. So here, nobody wakes up. It's just waking up, recognizing that it's just this.
I enjoy sitting out here on the porch talking to you in the evenings, but there's dogs and lawnmowers and cicadas. Oh, did I ever show you the cicadas? The cicadas are now dying.
No.
All around, there's these, when they're alive, their eyes are red. Here they are. There's like millions of these. There's two breeds of them.
Oh,
There's ones that wake up every 13 years, and there's ones that wake up every 17 years. And every 204 years, the ones that wake up every 13 years and the ones that wake up every 17 years wake up together. And this is the
is
two.
it sleeping?
No, they're underground for, this thing was underground for 13 years,
Wow.
just sitting there, you know, growing to this size. And every 13 years, they'll hatch and then they'll live for like a few weeks, eating, mating, and laying eggs or whatever, till the next batch does another 13 years.
Yeah.
So then there's ones that do 13 years and there's ones that do 17 years. And then every 203 years, both batches wake up at the same time and they're really loud. So this is the year that they both wake up, that both batches wake up. And they're all over the place. I can just see them littered around the yard. And they all sing in unison in the background, and they look like aliens. You can't see, but it's got really red eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And,
can see a little bit here.
and this is a dead one, but you know, when they're alive, they get sometimes bluish and greenish, like the scales of a fish or something. And they really look like a science fiction, like alien being.
Wow. We don't have those around here.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
cicadas.
Wow.
And they make that noise. It's kind of like a, it's kind of like a cricket. It's kind of like a locust, but it's like a, you know, just a rich rhythmic. It goes on in the background. I can barely hear them now. I don't know why they're not loud right now, but their dead carcasses are all over the place.
We also have but I don't have an English word for those. Whenever there's a rain or it has been raining, especially in the summer, when it stops raining, uh, you usually have to, they look like bees, but they have big wings. They have four wings. We call them intrabusi.
They're not dragonflies?
They their wings look exactly like dragonflies, but the body looks like a bee.
Huh. So it's round, fat body, round, fat body.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
I don't know those. That's crazy. Yuck.
Yeah, they only last for one night,
Huh.
and they die. They come up, especially at night. They love the lights, to fly around the lights in the room. They will,
You're not talking about
but
moths.
their wings. Some
They're not moths, are they?
months now.
Are they moths? Like, are they powdery?
No,
So
no.
we get moths that look like butterflies, except they're kind of gross and powdery and small, and they'll eat your clothes. They lay eggs and eat your clothes, get in your house. Huh.
Wow, very nice. And what is more surprising is that many people they would eat them. They catch them and they put them in the frying pan.
Have you ever tasted them? No?
No, no. Because usually that there is that mushy substance that comes out, like it's very white.
Yeah, like a cockroach.
But exactly.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. In Asia, people eat a lot of bugs in Asia. Cover them with chocolate and stuff. I don't know. Yuck.
Big bugs.
I don't know. I think they eat all sorts of bugs. People say it's a very good source of protein and that we should all start eating bugs because it'll help save the planet.
Mm.
Is there somebody snoring in the
So
room?
are there any locusts? Yeah,
Is that your aunt snoring?
yes.
I can't believe she's still sleeping with us talking so loud.
Yeah, she slept around 12. Yeah. She was there in the dining room with my brother's son. Yeah. So she decided to sleep very late. And she's still going up around 2:30. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, you know, reading what others have to say, that some people have a fast ripening and some people have a slow ripening. But the thing to do is just stick with it and see what happens for you, you know. Not push, but just be there.
Yeah. The noticing as well is always there, you know. But somehow the attention is always caught up in the story, in the what's going on, what's happening, yeah, what happened yesterday, what, you know. Somehow it doesn't, it's not stabilized in just here now. Even here now is just, you know, yeah, the attention may seem to move around, going to the past, yeah, past, parent, you know. But this is always here. This is always here. And it may seem to come back and just stabilized in this. And here it is always seen that there's just this. Yeah. That's why I say it can never be lost, can never be found. It's already the case. Nothing can never be found. Sorry. There's nobody to find nothing. There's only nothing. Everything is nothing already. So nothing is already the case. There's nothing to find nothing. The you, what seems to be a you, who's looking for nothing, is already nothing. Nothing looking. So there's nothing to find. The apparent mind can never really find this, can never really understand this. Yet the apparent mind is also this. It's just this already, which is not a thing, expressing as a mind. But there's no real separate mind. It's just what is, this, appearing as a mind. Expressing as its own limited aspect of itself, trying, being in the world as a man, looking, living life, parent life. That as well may seem to, or when the life that's being lived. Of course, that's a story. Seems to be very hard, and complicated. There may be a looking, the looking may arise, the searching may arise, searching for what is this. But the searching itself is not being done by a real separate self. It's just already what is this, which is whole and complete, expressing itself as separate from itself, looking for itself. So that's why I always say there's already nobody who's looking, who's searching. The separate self, the apparent separate self can never find this because there's no separate self. There's just this. When there's a recognition that there's just this, even that recognition or what's the apparent self, apparent separate self, is not worth mentioning. No, there can be just a recognition that they, so there can never be anything to say, oh, the separate self, I've recognized that I wasn't a separate self. No, it's just, it's just, let's just there. It's just this. Nothing to recognize that there's just this. Nobody to recognize. Just simply this. So this doesn't go away. This can never be lost. And this can never be found. Because there's only this. The apparent mind wandering, moving up and down, trying to figure out some things is also being watched from this. There can be an activity, somebody who's going there, moving up and down, fixing that, and they can be just simply watching, you know. That's neutral, spaceless space, just there, not doing anything. Yet expressing as an activity. Oh, need to go to work. I'm late for work. I need to go there now. You know. So the activity is happening in that which is not happening. Yet the activity itself is never really happening. It seems to be happening, but it's never really happening. It's just because it's just that spaciousness, which is not a thing, which is neutral, also be able to express as the opposites doing me seem to be like it's more like the sea, which is appearing as waves, but the waves may seem to be separate from the sea, but they are never really separate. It's still the sea. The waves are the sea, so still the sea. So it's just one thing. There's no separation there. So the activity itself is just this, which is already neutral, not doing anything. appearing to dance in a sense of being an activity. Going to the picnic, going to town, going to work, rain, birds flying, cars hooting, going to the loo, thinking, resting. Yeah, it's okay. There's no wrong or right already. Everything is this. No matter what shape or form it may appear to be, it's just this already. There's nobody who's doing anything, who's trying, who's getting it, not getting it. It is just this. There must be something other than this. That's this too. Saying there must be something other than this. I don't seem to get it. That's this too. I don't seem to get it. It may also express as saying, don't think, just be. Stop thinking it's just and just be. Stop trying. This as well may also express as a compulsive thinking, dot after dot, dot after dot. Yet it may, the thinking to dissipate, and that space can be seen. That space between thoughts may seem to expand, and then noticing may happen that there's just there's already nobody there who's doing things, who's trying, who's happening. Still hearing the snoring?
No. Is she up?
Okay. No.
I kept on thinking that there was somebody's voice in the background. And then I realized it must be snoring. I thought maybe your brother was in
Yeah,
town.
so sorry.
I thought maybe your brother was in town.
Yeah, actually he came today in the evening. He just came because I was just paying a visit. I think he had a running stomach and somehow was driving to where they live. Then she had the running stomach, so he decided to come here. So,
Yeah. Now I can hear her.
okay.
What is this shirt? Uzi, what does that mean? Your shirt says Uzi
Oh,
on it.
the
Yes,
yeah, it's just a name of the clothes.
I
That's
see.
yeah, it's called Uzi. It's just a
That's the name of a
yeah.
gun.
There's a sorry,
That's the name of a gun. A gun. Pow, pow.
Uzi.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I can't imagine you being a big fan.
Yeah, there's a store that sells the
I see.
sorry.
I can't imagine you being a big fan of guns.
Ah no. Yeah, many people they carry guns, especially the blank ones around there. They do carry them
When you say
because
people carry
there's
blank guns,
from time to time.
they carry blank guns?
Sorry.
You said people carry blank guns?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know what that means. Like that don't shoot real bullets, that shoot empty bullets, blanks?
yeah, yeah. They don't shoot real bullets. They shoot like a real gun, but there are no
Yeah,
there are no real bullets. So they carry them around because from time to time there can be that robbery happening, people getting robbed. But the community, they always stand against that. If somebody tries to rob somebody, they catch him right away, they beat him up. Sometimes they beat him to death or mm,
ouch.
yeah.
So that happened to Charlie Kremenak, right?
Yeah, yeah, they take advantage if they see that you're not from here and they just you know they take advantage, especially if you walk alone in the
Yeah.
secluded areas when there are no people.
So was it because Charlie was white or because of the way he dressed or how would they know it was not?
Um, yeah, where he was working, I think that area it doesn't have many uh, white people, you know,
Yeah,
because those areas they are, I think they are full. The people that walk around there are so many street children.
I see.
So and Aryans there,
What was he doing walking around
So
there?
I think he told me that he was in for the bus or a taxi, but it didn't come.
I
So
see.
he decided just to take a walk, you know, and yeah. But if I was there, I was gonna warn him. I was gonna warn him, hey, never go there, because I know those areas where there's an activity, such activity.
I remember when I was in Tanzania. No, not Tanzania. Haiti. We're going around these neighborhoods and very, very poor neighborhoods. And then all of a sudden I could tell we were in a bad neighborhood. And it looked exactly the same. It looked exactly the same. So I said to the
Yeah,
people, I said, is this a bad neighborhood? Like, oh yeah, how can you tell? Yeah, this is where all the murders happened. It's like But somehow you could just the feeling of it, you know what I mean? It's just almost like this heaviness.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, there's always that feeling that better watch out. The area we are walking on is it's not good. It's not good.
But you and your auntie are always safe, right? Your neighborhood is safe.
Um, yeah, it is safe, but not all the time. That's why I walk with her.
I see.
I always walking her to the bus stop. Yeah, because there were times where we almost got robbed as well. So yeah, so actually, she got robbed when she used to walk alone. She got robbed. So ever since that happened, so I had to take her to the bus stop. I think it was around 2016 there. So he decided that I'm gonna be with her all the time. So nothing happened ever since I decided to go with her.
So do you walk her there and
But
then you walk her back too? Do you meet her and then walk her back too?
no, when she comes back in the evening, she she comes uh, on her own.
Because that's
There's
okay because there's more
because
people around or
there's yeah, there are people around the time, so it's safe. But in the morning, around 3 a.m., there are so many people around. So when there's somebody who's walking there, she would like get suspicious. See,
yeah.
hey, who's that guy there? Very nervous. He's very, she's very nervous.
Yeah, are there people that just lurk around in the dark, like at night, just walk around and don't seem to live anywhere?
Yeah, yeah, we do have those ones. And time there will be a group of people drinking, coming towards us. And then I would just say, no, don't afraid, just walk with me. And then we'll pass.
Do you ever have to say, stop, I am in Kosi? No.
No, no, it's somehow, as you are saying, there is a feeling when somebody up is approaching,
Yeah.
there can be that feeling of not it's feeling that hey, something's not right here. Mm.
And then what do you do when there's that feeling?
Uh, sometimes if I would just tell her to wait a little bit, and then that one passes, and then you can go as well. We have never had any uh, confrontation. Somebody there trying to rob us. No, we've never had that. I don't know. Somehow they seem to be afraid. Even when they are working as a group, they just become afraid. They will change where they are walking and walk on the other side. Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is enjoyed here.
Yeah, they can, when they're in that space, they can sense you. They can sense your field. I think Ricky passes to a dark space sometimes. Ricky, the guy I sent you a picture of.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember him.
I mean, a lot of times when I talk to him, he'll be crazy or he'll be friendly. But there has been times when he's like, stopped Melissa, where he's got this look in his eyes where I think sometimes he's dangerous too.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. So he doesn't receive any government grant or something.
Well, when I saw him that one time, he said he's come back from the hospital and he got his medicine and he's better now, right? So somebody paid for his medicine. He certainly didn't work for it. I assumed that he was living in a shelter or a halfway house, but the police said he was homeless. So
Mm, mm,
I don't know. I don't know.
mm,
I mean, it doesn't get real cold here, but it gets really hot, It's too hot to be outside all the
mm.
time, so I don't know what he does. Yeah.
Oh. I thought he was receiving a government grant or something. Maybe must be a way to live. Yeah.
I mean, I think that some people are just too in America they used to have these places where just crazy people would be housed, and then they about
Mm.
40 years ago they just closed them all. A lot of those people, if they didn't have family, they just ended up on the streets. And I think that some states
Oh yeah.
and I think that some states will give you, you know, just barely enough to live, but then some don't. And I don't know what happens. And I think
Mm,
this is one that doesn't. So I don't know. You know,
mm,
there's certainly less people around here than there was where I came
mm,
from. But there's maybe 4 or 5 people in town that you always see walking, you know, that they
mm,
all seem to have some sort of, way that they walk or way that they act that,
mm,
it's not like they're on drugs. You can tell that they have some mental issues.
mm.
Yeah, there should be some humane way to deal with that problem for sure, but not here.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Do they take care of people in South Africa that are like that?
Yeah, though the people who are crippled or disabled, they are receiving a government grants. The people who are very old, who have retired, they as well get paid, and people who are unemployed, they also receive some some cash every month.
I mean, we have
But
all that. We have all that here. We have all that here, but I think that, sometimes if you're crazy, you just can't get your act together enough to get things going, enough to have a place to live. It's like for some reason, if you're disabled, you can't work or, unemployed, there's programs that will set you up. But for some reason, if you're just completely nuts like Ricky, it's like you're fucked. I don't know. It's just there's never enough or they don't figure it out.
yeah.
It's terrible because it's like, a lot of folks that are unemployed but sane, those folks could work at, you know, McDonald's or something, right? But Ricky can't work at McDonald's. There's no way Ricky's working at McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you may think that some people are very suffering only to say in from their apparent perspective. Life is viewed in a differently.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen here around here, especially in town, when you try to assist somebody, giving some cash, you see that this person is going towards. Only to find out that the person says, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's
Yeah.
okay, sure. Then you somehow you price. That's how I thought maybe some cash would help.
I was in San Francisco once and there was a guy kind of stooped over and I had eaten enough of my food and I had some extra French fries left. So I said, "Here, do you want my French fries?" And the guy stood up and he just was like a young guy who seemed just fine. But he'd been stooped over and somehow about the way he was dressing, so I immediately was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he didn't take offense at all. He was like, "Oh no, I want your fries. Did you change your mind?" I was like, "Oh no, here, you can have my fries." I was really embarrassed, but he wasn't embarrassed at all.
Yeah, yeah, understand. Yeah. There was another guy I saw. That's at McDonald's here. Uh, there was a lady who was like going crazy. I think she's mentally disturbed somehow because uh, she was like sitting with her bags, sitting down, and then there was a guy who just walked in there and gave her some 20 bucks, 20 rands. And then the lady refused. And then the guy insisted, no, take it, take it. The lady refused. And then the guy left the 20 rand there, and walked out. The lady took the 20 rand and followed him and threw the 20 rand in his face.
Yeah, people get proud. People get proud. What my mom always does is sneak it.
Yeah.
I was at church once with my mom. This was like 20 years ago. And she took $100 bill, which is quite a lot. And she saw a homeless woman, and she went and she sneaked it into her purse. Like a reverse pickpocket, put the $100 into the woman's purse. And then the next week I went there and the woman was there looking around like she was going to get another $100. It was funny.
Right.
Is it that time? Oh, it's late. I should go.
Yeah, here it's I think it's half past 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to wake up your auntie.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to you next Tuesday. Thank you and
Yeah.
prayer.
Okay. You're welcome.
Bye.